Now, before we get into developing applications, the first thing what we need to do it is set up our development environment. This development environment could be Windows. This development environment could be in Linux. This development environment could be in Mac. But today we are going to do the development environment in Windows. So let us see that how we can set up the development environment first in the Windows. And to set up the development environment in Windows, there are a few things we need to understand that Android is based on JDK, Java, and Android uh, basically goes just like Java, but there is a small diversion and that comes here. What it says is that all Android APIs looks like Java APIs. In fact, Android API is based on Java APIs. So what they have done is that in the Android Java API, they have taken some part of JDK and then they have added their own Android API, which is written again in Java, and they have made it Android API. So how does Android and Java and Android differs? Those who know Java, they can understand that first you write a Java source code, then there is a Java C compiler, it converts into Java bytecode, and then Java bytecode runs into Java virtual machine. Now come to the Android. Let us see how it happens in Android world. Same here, it looks like a Java source code. Java compiler will work on that. Java bytecode will be generated. And from there, what happens is that there is a compiler Android team has written called Dex compiler. And that takes the Java bytecode and converts into a new format of bytecode called Dalvik bytecode. And then that Dalvik bytecode get executed here inside a new virtual machine called Dalvik virtual machine. And this is what I was trying to explain in one or two slides earlier. So the way your Java applications runs in Java virtual machine, Android bytecode, which is called Dalvik bytecode, runs in Dalvik virtual machine. Now somebody can ask that, what does it mean by this? Dalvik virtual machine. What does the word Dalvik means? Does it have any significance? Well, Dalvik word itself does not have any significance. It is basically the name given by the person called Dan Bernstein who works in Google, and he's the lead engineer who created this Dalvik virtual machine, and he comes from a country called Ireland or somewhere, and there is a island or lake whose name is Dalvik. So basically, just because he is from that place, he just renamed this virtual machine as Dalvik virtual machine. Otherwise, Dalvik word itself has no significance in terms of Android operating system or virtual machine. It is just a name. Now, let us get back to our task today. We are going to set up a development environment. This environment, as I said, that can be done on Windows, 32-bit or 64-bit, Mac, 10.5.8 or later x86 only right now, Linux, Ubuntu, Hardy, Heron, all those. Now to set up the SDK environment, development environment, there are 6-7 steps. All of them are small steps, but generally I recommend people that please go sequentially like this so that your life becomes much easier. So what we'll do is that first step is install JDK. If you already have, don't worry about it. Second, install Eclipse. If you have, that's okay. You can skip that step. Next is install Android SDK. We'll see how to do that. Next is install Eclipse Android plugin, which is also called it as Android Development Tool plugin ADT. ADT means Android Development Tool. Android Development Tools. Next, what we'll do is that we'll set up the SDK directory in Eclipse just to configure. After that, we'll install various SDK components, and then finally we'll create an emulator AVD to run our applications. Once we are done with these 7 steps, you are ready to write your first Android application. So let us see that how we are going to do this thing. So step 1, installing JDK. It is very easy thing. You have to just go to this URL and download the JDK and then run JDK installer. After that, you might want to set up the path and environment variable like Java home. You want to put this Java_home variable, and then you have to put the executable of this in the class path of your operating system. In case you want to understand that how you are having a trouble how to install JDK itself, you can definitely go to that website link which I have provided here and can do that. So let us look into that. How will I install JDK? So let me just open my browser, and I'm going to this website called Java download page. So if you see this URL, javasc downloads index.html, it is basically this page. Now once you come here, you will find lot of versions of Java and JDK 6, JDK 7 and lot of other things. Don't worry about all of that. Just click on this image called Java Platform JDK 7. And here you will find various versions of JDK for different operating systems: Linux, Mac, Solaris, Windows. Since we are working on Windows 64-bit, I have Windows 7 64-bit operating system, so I will go ahead and download this link. But before I download this link, I need to accept a license agreement. So I will click here and then accept the license agreement, and then I will click this page link, and it will start downloading my JDK 7, and it will say save file. Don't run the file, you should say save file, and it will start downloading. Now just to save our time and everything, I have already downloaded this file, so let us go and see that. Okay, what I have done is that I have already downloaded this into a directory called software to install. So basically I have created a directory called software to install for Eclipse, and all the softwares which I download, I keep it at one place so that later if I want to reinstall, I don't need to download. Now once I download this, just go and double click this one, and it will launch the installer, and it will, you can say run. And this will start the JDK 7 installer for you, and it takes a while, but let us see that how it goes. Now after you do this, it will ask for few things. You can keep doing this, and then it will install JDK 7 for you. And while this will again take time, because installation and all takes time, but it is a very simple. So what I would do is that I will just go ahead and cancel this, because I have already installed JDK for you, So I will show you that. So let me just show you that where I have installed JDK. So in C colon program files, I have Java installed here, and here is GRE 16, but we are not interested in GRE, so we'll see about here. Here is JDK. I have installed JDK 1.6, but you can install 1.7, both is fine. And it will come like this. So this is how you install the Java. And after you install, this will come like this. Once you install Java, couple of things you need to do. And one of the thing is that you need to set the class path. Now to set the class path, what you do is that if it is Windows 7 or something, I will explain you how to do it. But depending on your operating system, you can do it as well. So go to here and then you can say system and security, and again click system, and then you will find advanced system settings. So remember, you have to come to this page and click advanced system settings. Once you come to here, it will bring you to the window called System Properties. Our installer is running in the background. And click here environment variable. This is the place where you have to come to set up the class path and everything. Now if you see here, there is important feature called Java Home. This is the system variable you have to set up. So let us see, you have to name this Java Home and put the directory under which you have installed Java. So if you go back here, Java JDK 1.6, so the directory inside which this whole thing is there, that name you have to give, and that is what I have given here. Java underscore home is this path. Once you are done with this, there is another thing you need to do, and that is that set the path. And here in the path, in the end, you have to put this directory called bin. So what you should do is that I'm going to cancel this one because I don't need Java again. I have already installed, so it was just to explain you. Now take this directory, copy it, and you can go into this one, and in the end put semicolon and paste like this. So basically this is the directory you have to put it. Once you put it, you just say OK, and that's it. So now it works. So, and after doing those two changes, you are ready for running the Java. How do you know that whether your Java is working fine or not? What you can do is that go to command prompt, I'm just closing few windows. Go to command prompt and see, just type the word Java and see if it works or not. If I type word Java, it should either throw some error message or show some help file or something like that. So let us see how it does. Now this is what it is doing. So what it means is that my Java is working fine, and there are various ways of Java options and help. So this is what it comes. The moment Java application comes, it start doing that. So we have installed our application called Java. Now once we are done with Java, our next setup is installing Eclipse IDE.